It is time to preview the Week 10 games. We got some really, really good ones on the slate here. So let's start with Purple on Purple Crime. Vikings versus Ravens, 1 p.m. Eastern. My son's a Ravens fan, one bar, so curious to see who you're going to pick in this one. But we'll start with you, Dose. Tell me who you think is going to win the Vikings versus Ravens game, 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Ravens are back officially. I think that's where we're at right now.
They are. They're back. They're back.
The Ravens are good again. Look, man, I'll start here. I think with the Vikings, I think we kind of just hit on, man, the team's different now. And first off, Andrew Van Ginkel, I'm tired of this dude. I'm just sick of this dude. If you guys need to trade this guy away. I mean, that was the most ridiculous play. Just as a side note, this dude gets ran over and he grabs, like, gives foot as he's running the screen, tackles him. That was just dumb. That shouldn't have happened. Because of him alone, I think I want to take the Vikings in this one. But look, I think this kind of pulls it back. I think the Vikings are a pretty good team here. And I think that offensively, they have a lot of weapons. So when their offense finds right, they got a shot. I haven't completely bought into Baltimore to this point. It's going to be about, can they find consistency on the ground? Because against us, they did. They haven't consistently this year. I'm going to lean on. They ride that momentum. They find some consistency. Give me the Vikings to win this one.
Oh, all right. Playing nice in the division. I like it. All right, Nick, who wins this one? Vikings, Ravens, 1 p.m.
Who is going to be the bigger purple people eater? That's the big question here. I'm going to go with the Vikings. Even though one bar, he hasn't been very nice to me the last couple of weeks. He's feeling the heat at the bottom. He's looking at me and going, wow, look at that big guy up top. He's a big guy. No, I got the Vikings winning the Ravens. I want to see the NFC North take down the Ravens. I am still upset about that loss a couple of weeks ago, but J.J. McCarthy being back, they got some momentum. I got the Vikings in this one, 24-17.
All right, Bass, you kind of, maybe I read this wrong, but I felt like you kind of gave a surprise look, like, wow, these guys are picking the Vikings to win. Are you picking the Vikings as well, or are you going with the Ravens?
I just didn't think I'd be the first person to say I'm going the Ravens. Like, if I'm third here, like, I expected one of you two to say Ravens. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I agree with that. No, it's nothing against the Vikings. I just think the Ravens are back, and their team that's 3-5 and still has a chance to win their division. And I think they will. I think this is a great football team. Now it's in Minnesota, and that's very different. Like, Baltimore plays lights out in Baltimore. So I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people may think. I'm sure a lot of money is on Baltimore, but again, Minnesota is an interesting team, and they have a very, very good defense. But here's the difference. Like, last week, they stopped the Detroit run game. Will they be able to do that with the Ravens? But they also pressured the hell out of Jared Goff. He's a statue back there. I'm sorry, Dion, but he is. He doesn't move. He just stands there. He's got his mic muted. It's all good.
Statues represent great things, Bass.
They do. I'm not saying he's not great. I'm just saying he doesn't
on those perfect.
and he's got small hands. He fumbles the ball a lot. Lamar Jackson, on the other hand,
you see the statue. He's got big hands on that statue, though.
No. They made the statue with very small hands. Okay. But Lamar, I think the Vikings will send pressure, and Lamar, over this year, their O-line has been shaky, and he's gotten pressured a lot. But I think just overall, I think I like the Baltimore Ravens better. And I know their defense is shaky as well. I just think they're back in force. I think still it's going to be a one-score game. So I got Baltimore 28-20.
Ooh, all right. One bar. Last week you picked against your Vikings. It played out for you. This might be something you might want to do weekly. I don't know. You tell me, but who you picking, the Vikings or the Ravens? And what's the score, man? How does this one go down?
No, I mean, Baz, you were pretty much on the same page of what I'm thinking for the Vikings and the Ravens. I mean, it is a completely different ball game. I mean, we do have to shut down the run game, and that's a heavy task. And really, I think the Ravens win that division as well. Everybody writing them off a couple weeks ago, and now they got Lamar Jackson back coming off of that 4-touchdown performance. Granted, it was against the Dolphins, but I mean, it's easy. It comes down to Lamar and Derrick Henry. Can they shut them down? Like, if I'm the Ravens, I'm running the ball damn near every single time. I think if the Lions last week would have ran the ball with Montgomery twice as much, they would have walked away with that dub. The Vikings have not been good against the run. They've had some spurts, and they've had some surprises where they held the Lions last week to 65 yards. I don't think that happens this week. I think this is going to be a very, very, very tough game. I think the Ravens and the Vikings right now are in the kind of the same situation. They finally both got healthy. They're kind of in a spot right now where week in and week out, it's almost a must win. So every week's kind of a playoff for these guys, and this is going to be a tough ass matchup. I don't think they can bring the house with Blake Cashman and Eric Wilson this week. It's not going to work because Lamar Jackson is going to scoot right around him and go for about 20 yards. So Blake Cashman's going to have to spy on Lamar Jackson the whole time. We're going to have to rely on a secondary that hasn't been overly fantastic. We know the Ravens have weapons, but on the other side of it, the Ravens defense can be had. We can get after those guys. They're giving up a lot of yards in the air. I think what I said earlier was JJ McCarthy. Maybe this is the week you take one training wheel off. Maybe let him sling it a little bit more. Maybe let him try to make those big plays and go after that secondary a little bit. And then hopefully Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones is going to be key. The guy's got to be healthy. He's got to be active. He's just such a great Batman or Robin, whatever one you want to pick, to that Jordan Mason. Watching him last week where he was finally healthy. I mean, I know he's 30, 31, whatever he is. He was a big part of why we beat this Lions team. So it's going to be a toss-up. The Vikings have a very tough schedule ahead of them. And if they beat the Ravens at home this week, I think that's where you can start to say, like, all right, the Vikings are going to be a team to deal with. Because, I mean, coming up, we got the Bears, we got the Packers. I mean, it is a very tough schedule coming up, and this is a must-win for the Vikings. I think they can get the win. Luckily for the Ravens, they're not getting after the quarterback very much. I think they've only sacked opposing quarterback 11 times or so. So JJ McCarthy should have some time, especially with that healthy offensive line in front of him. And Lamar, he does get put in the ground a bit. I think they're averaging 3 sacks a game with those guys. So Brian Flores, he's got to come back. He's got to do it again, but I am picking the Vikings. I think it will be close. I think I got the Vikings 27-23. I just hope they give up on Derrick Henry. I hope they give up on the run very, very early. Lamar very well could beat the Vikings with his arm, but I'll take that over Henry.
Well, defensively, you might want to dust off that Detroit Lions playbook, man, because they got after Lamar in that game. That was absolutely
7
insane. So that's the one that you want to watch. Whatever they did, you want to see if you can possibly duplicate that one. That was a phenomenal performance by that defense in Detroit. So we'll see if the Vikings can emulate that. All right, let's keep it in the 1 p.m. time slot. We got Bears versus Giants. One bar, I'm going to stick with you on this one. Tell me who wins. Bears, Giants, 1 p.m.
I got to be honest, Nick, until you said that, I can't believe Joe Flacco set his record of yardage against the Bears. Yep. I mean, the guy's like 90 years old. And I'm giving you a rip there, but this is the perfect game for the Bears to come back to. They're going against the Giants that are completely, injury riddled. Like, this is the game that you want to come back and get a dub on. And the Bears, if I'm the Chicago, I'm running the piss out of that thing all game. If Caleb Williams throws it more than whatever, run the ball, you're going to win the game. Like, the Bears should walk away with this easily. Giants are so just decimated as far as what their team is right now. I got the Bears 23-13.
All right, Dose, how do you see this one?
Yeah, I'm opposite. I think Giants are going to win this one, man. And it's not because the Giants are a great team. They look messy right now, very messy. But I still think on the defensive front, they have enough there where it could give problems to Chicago. I think Chicago's been able to lean on that, and I think that's the area where Giants give themselves a chance in this game. Now, did they match up well in the secondary? No. So I expect that the Bears are going to score a bit in this one. They should score in the 20s at least in this game. But, man, the Giants have given me some good energy, man. I mean, they've found a way to run the ball a little bit. Jackson Dart will give you a few big plays. I have no idea who in the world's playing receiver for them at this point. I don't even know who any of these dudes are. But it just takes a couple. And I love me some Brian Dable. I think this could be a fantastic game. I'm going to take the Giants 23-20.
Ooh, nice. Okay, I didn't expect that. Bass, who do you have winning this one?
I'm going Bears. Offense is flowing, right? Great game from Caleb this past week. Colson Loveland has arrived. I just picked him up in fantasy, so I want that to happen yet again. I had Tucker Kraft, so it's like a double whammy. It just all sucks all the way around. But the thing is about the Giants, they allowed the second most rushing yards per game at 150. We just saw what Kyle Monangai did. I don't know if Swift is going to be playing, but I don't care if he is or not. Like, I'd run with the hot hand with Monangai and just keep that thing going. I expect more Chicago success here. I feel like the Giants lack anything of a run game. Obviously they lost Scatterbo. I just don't know what they're going to get going. Obviously Dart's been impressive, but I think overall the Giants or the Bears are really, really hot right now. So I got a 2-score win for the Bears, 31-21.
All right, Bears Giants, 1 p.m. Nick, we got Dose picking against your Bears, the other two picking for your Bears. Talk to me.
No, fair points raised. The Bears have won 5 out of the last 6. They did lose to the Ravens, but the Ravens now are starting to become the Ravens again. But it's going to be 41 degrees and rainy in Chicago on Sunday. You do get Luther Burden back, it looks like, this week. Kyle Monangai was limited, but, better than out. DeAndre Swift's heading in the right direction as well. And this Bears defensive line is starting to heat up. I don't know what's going on over in New York. They are definitely not the team that they once were with Cam Scatterbo, but this Bears defense needs to gain some confidence. This is a perfect game for it. Along with that, too, if Swift and Monangai both play, they're going against the 31st rush defense in the NFL. They went against the 32nd last week in Cincinnati. So Bears are probably going to be running all over the place. They did last time against the Saints at Soldier Field. And with how the offensive line is playing, with how the running back room is playing, and how Caleb's been playing, I have a good feeling about this Sunday against New York. They're not in a position right now to win. They have no direction right now. They have some fun players, but they're not going anywhere. And I got the Bears winning this one as well. But I got it 31-17 Bears.
Yeah, the Giants have had a rough go, man. They were in the driver's seat. They had just beaten the Eagles. They were about ready to blow out seemingly the Broncos, and the Broncos came back with that historic fourth quarter. And then the very next week, they lose once again. They lose Cam Scatterbo and then lose to the 49ers. And it's all falling apart for the New York Giants. I think this is, if the Bears are who you think they are, this is a game that they definitely have to win. Well, speaking of games that you have to win, a very, very different Commanders team is rolling into this game on Sunday at 4:25 p.m. Eastern against the Detroit Lions. Nick, we'll stick with you. Who do you have win this one? Lions at Commanders, 4:25 p.m. Eastern.
Bears broke the Commanders like the Commanders broke the Bears last year. They are not looking good. They look unconfident. No Jaden Daniels, just injury after injury. They lost, I believe, Lattimore as well to an ACL injury. So Commanders got no direction. Season's in the bag for them. I got Detroit absolutely crumbling them. I got 42-10.
Ooh, Bass. Give me your score prediction on this one. Lions at Commanders.
It's a fair prediction there because the last time the Lions suffered a big loss, week 1, Dion, if you remember that one. The next week, they put on 52 points to the Bears, Nick, if you remember that one. So it seems like after they lose, I just had to get both of you real quick, but I'm picking the Lions. Don't worry, I'm not going to follow.
And then F the Vikings. Remember that? You remember that?
But I feel bad for the Commanders. I had high hopes for them this year. It just seems like nothing's gotten going, and then injuries. Jaden, that video of his elbow is disgusting. Losing Lattimore, like Nick said, they're just a mess right now. I got Detroit 38-20.
Wow. All right. One bar. How do you see this one going down?
Man, everybody said it already. I mean, the Commanders are an absolute mess. The Lions are going to come out extra pissed off as well. It's funny. I was laughing when Nick gave his prediction of just a smoke show, but yeah, I got like 44-6. I think the Lions are going to, I think it's going to be tough to watch. You're turning the channel after the first quarter. There's nothing to watch here. Lions are going to kill them.
Wow.
Kill them.
When the Commanders shock the world because they're coming from D.C., that's where I live. It's a beautiful place. At least I made it beautiful. They're going to walk to Detroit and give them a nice spanking on the bottom. Wow. Just kidding. Those pussycats, those Lions are going to be very dangerous, very dangerous.
Dose, I don't know if you should feel good about this. Everybody picking a blowout here. I feel like this might be your reverse jinx incoming. Dose, talk to me about this game. How do you see it going down?
Yeah, I don't love it, man. I feel like, look, man, this has been like a little thing here. Last week, I feel like it was very confident. Then what One Bar was saying, my chat was like that pregame too. It's scary. I don't like it, man, because Washington beat us last year. So I look at it as like, this is your revenge spot. You know what I mean? Like you got to get back at these dudes. Washington knocked us out last season. Now, look, I didn't think Washington was going to be good this year, but as everybody else put in here, and I was a hater for that because we lost to him. But I didn't think it was going to last. But that said, the injuries stink, and Jaden Daniels going down stinks. Lattimore. Now they still have some dudes back there, especially in the secondary. It's just right now I don't think they're playing at the level you'd expect. Like Trey Amos has felt very inconsistent. I don't think Mike Sanders still looked the same. defense. I mean, they got Eddie Goldman playing nose tackle. I didn't know that dude was still in the league. He's got like 83 years old. So it's just been a mess right now with what they have healthy. And offensively, they just look very basic within their passing attack. But I think Mariota's going to settle things in for him. I think he's going to be fine. I think they'll be able to score with him offensively. I think they can do a lot of things out of the pocket, which makes it a little bit difficult where things can get off script a bit here. And it's just going to be about stopping that run game. It's such a diverse rush attack, and we were ugly last week trying to stop the run. So getting back to that will be where it starts for me in this one to allow what everybody here is saying to be the case. So I am confident, though. I think as of now, I like 31-20 Lions winning. Not as much as y'all do. You know, I can't do that. I don't even think that's right. I don't think after what we just did, I can predict us to win by something more than that. I think I got to be, a little bit calm. I'm going to go 31-20 Lions.
All right. Well, everybody's picking Detroit. As I've said before, if you like primetime football, the NFC North has got you covered because Monday Night Football, Packers versus the Eagles, could be for the number 1 seed when it's all said and done. We'll see how it plays out here. But we got a big one on the slate. Nick, gonna ask you who wins this one, Packers or Eagles? Give me your score prediction.
Bass, where is it?
Where's what?
Where's the game?
Oh, it's in Lambeau, like always.
God darn it. No, it is not. Okay, now I'm ticked off. They always play at home. Bears played their last 4 or 5 games on the freaking road. The NFL stinks. Anyway, Roger Goodell stinks. I'm going to go, even though Baz was very nice to me, I'll be nice too. The Green Bay Packers, they got to come back against that Panthers. What an embarrassment to those pussycats over in Carolina. Wow, what a bunch of losers. No, but Green Bay, I think, the thing is about Philadelphia, first of all, it's at Lambeau, so it's automatically going to be in Green Bay's favor. Second of all, the Philadelphia Eagles, they're so inconsistent, man. I know they just got a new edge, but I'm not feeling confident about them like people usually are. So I got Green Bay winning this one, but it's going to be close. I got 24-21 on a Green Bay field goal from 50 plus. Put that on Sleeper.
Put that on Sleeper, he says. Wow, 1 bar. Are you going with the Green Bay Packers like Nick is, or are you going to pick the Eagles in this one, Monday Night Football?
Yeah, Nick, don't be too confident about Lambeau. I mean, they just lost there to the Panthers. So, I mean, but
they always play there.
You got to throw that out there. Here's the thing, Baz, you said it earlier. The Packers are so effing weird. They lose the crappy teams and they beat the really good teams. And they're playing a very good team this week. So it's like, all right, you should probably pick the Eagles because they're really good. The Eagles made some moves at the deadline. I don't like the matchup, obviously, with the Eagles receivers going against the Packers secondary. Darnold, I mean, he just ripped them a new one last week. It's a very hard game to pick. But I think Philly does come on at top. I think there'll be some points scored. I got 28-24 Eagles. And Dos, you're right. I can't believe Eddie Goldman still plays, by the way. That's like my biggest takeaway. I can't believe he'd still play in the league. But I got Eagles, but I would not be surprised either way.
All right, Dos, how do you have this one going down? We're split. You might be the tiebreaker, at least between the other 3. I think I know where Bass is going. Who you have in this one?
Yeah, this should be fun, man. Last time we had this to open up the season, it was some fireworks too. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to get a lot of points. I think the point that 1 bar is great is like the receivers for Philadelphia should go to work a bit. It's just that's been the question all year is consistency within their passing attack. I think they started to find it. So I expect them to throw the ball around a little bit. I expect Green Bay to do the exact same thing. I know they've been bouncing around Cooper DeJean, but I always think with Green Bay, it doesn't really matter because they can make everybody a threat from everywhere on the field, it feels like. I mean, maybe they got to push the ball downfield a little bit more, as Bass is saying, but because I think Philadelphia will tackle, unlike Pittsburgh, for example. But I think they're going to get a lot of points in this one. So I'm going to go 30-24. I think Green Bay gets back on track. I hate it, but I think they do.
All right, there we go, Bass. We got 2 picking the Packers, 1 picking the Eagles. Monday Night Football. How do you see this one going down?
So I'm going to be arriving in Hawaii the moment this thing kicks off. It'll be like a 2 p.m. Monday Night Football game. So that'll be interesting to kind of see that vibe there. But as a PA native, obviously I'm going to pick my Green Bay Packers. And it is a tale of 2 teams. Like 1 bar said, it's like, which one are you going to get? Are you going to get the Cleveland Browns, Carolina Panthers game? Or are you going to get the Steelers game? And it wouldn't surprise me if the Packers went out here and won by, say, like 10 points or so. And why I think this could happen is I think LaFleur has to adapt a little bit. I think he kind of got stuck in his traditional offensive scheme these past few weeks, or in the games that he did lose. We're now without Tucker Kraft. We're going to see more 11 personnel. We're going to see more maybe 6 offensive linemen, which we've seen in years past. He's done that. And I think Anthony Belton is perfect for that. And yes, Rico Dowdle went off against our defense, but I feel like this is a game where weirdly the week before Dowdle goes off, or this week we could hold Barkley to like 47 yards running. The Packers are still a top 5 run defense. They had a horrible game last week. Overall, they just had a horrible game. And I do expect them to bounce back. The Eagles are bottom half in passing offense, running offense, passing defense, and running defense, right? They had a weird start to the season. They're kind of bringing it back around, but I think the Packers can find success against that defense that now has Jair Alexander, who's returning to Lambeau, which is interesting if he plays, which doubt it. And I think we're going to get home on Jalen Hurts. I think this defense is going to be playing angry. I think we had a really bad game from our front 7 last week. Barely any pressure, only 1 sack, and that sack was by a defensive back. So I think this defense is going to find success. It's prime time in Lambeau. They really need this win. Yes, they're still at the top of the NFC North, but it is wide open right now. I think we can all agree it is absolutely wide open. And this is going to be a huge win, like you said, Jesse, if they can win, to potentially secure, seeding possibilities later down the line. So I have the Packers. It's going to be a close one, but I have the Packers 27-21.
I'm going to make the picks this week just so that we can get through it really quick, but make sure to play Sleeper, get your 100% deposit match of up to $100 using promo code RTS. And if you are on the fence about playing Sleeper, then use promo code RTS. Get your free $20. You don't even have to make a deposit. You'll get a free $20 play. Check them out. Now is the time. You can play daily fantasy, weekly fantasy, yearly fantasy, and you can do exactly what we're doing here, which is some more or less have a little bit of skin in the game. So the picks this week, I'm taking my freebie. I got Bo Nix on a half a pass yard. Sleeper always gives us a freebie. That's this week. I'm going Brock Bowers on the anytime TD. I feel good about that one. J.K. Dobbins, I'm teasing all the way down from 70 rush yards to 40 rush yards. I don't know about 70 guys, but 40 I feel good about. And then Daniel Carlson, I'm going more on the 1.5 field goals. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to do $10 on that one. And that's going to give me $71 on the line. Check them out. Link pinned to the top of the description. Promo code RTS to get your deposit match and free $20 play.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.